I'm done with finding love. Sounds familiar? I've gotten a ton of comments to my last video from gay men feeling unwanted because of their age. They're convinced they've aged out of the dating pool. But something really caught my attention. For every person feeling defeated, there was another who had found love after 50. And not just any love, but the kind of deep, meaningful connection that so many people spend years searching for. And get this, some even said it was easier for them to date after 50. Easier? In this video, I'll show you the unexpected truth about being gay and over 50. How your age isn't just not a problem, it's your secret weapon in finding a meaningful relationship. Let's talk about what so many mature gay men are experiencing. One viewer wrote to me, "In the gay community, I'm invisible." Another shared, "I'm 59 and feeling invisible. I have resigned myself to being single." Walk into any gay bar and you might as well be wallpaper. Open a dating app and it's the same story, profile after profile saying no over 40. Just like that, you're invisible. Here's where it gets complicated. Many of us have internalized messages about being too old. We started believing that our time for love has passed. And while there are definitely people who genuinely prefer and thrive being single, that's a valid choice. I'm talking about something different here. I'm talking about when we tell ourselves we're fine being alone as a way to protect ourselves. After enough rejection, enough profiles saying no over 40, enough feeling invisible, it's natural to build a wall, to say, "I don't care" or "I don't need anyone," because it feels safer than putting yourself out there again. And this is where it gets tricky. When we believe we're too old, we start acting on it. We might stop going to social events because what's the point? We might not strike up conversations because we expect rejection. Sometimes we don't even notice when someone's interested because we're convinced ourselves that nobody could be. That's internalized ageism at work. And if you want a relationship deep down in your heart, it's making you miss connections that could be happening right now. So let's start by calling out this ageist narrative for what it is. Yes, those voices saying gay life ends at 30 are loud. I used to believe them too, but they're wrong, and you can see it in the hundreds of comments people left on my videos. The only thing you might be losing is appeal to guys looking for quick hookups with younger men. But if you've watched this far, I'm guessing you're after something deeper anyway. And this is where things get interesting. While we're getting carried away by other people's internalized ageism, while we're busy worrying about being too old, we're actually missing something powerful that we've developed over the years. Before I get into that, I wanted to invite you to my private newsletter. Every week, I share insights and real talk about finding and keeping the love of your life. The link to join is in the description. So, what's this powerful thing we've developed over the years? Let me show you what I mean. I was 24 when I met my first serious partner. We were madly in love. We moved together after a few months, and we stayed together for 6 years. We had everything: passion, chemistry, dreams of future together. But looking back, I see why it didn't work. Neither of us knew how to handle the tough stuff. How to express our wants and needs, how to have hard conversations, or navigate the transition between the honeymoon phase to a lifelong partnership. If I had the relationship skills I have now, we might still be together. Here's the unexpected truth. Whether your relationships worked out or not, whether you've had many or just a few, you've been gathering something incredibly valuable along the way. Real-life experience. You've learned what works and what doesn't, and you've developed clarity about what you truly want. Think about it. You're not interested in games anymore. You've seen enough to know that while physical attraction matters, it's not enough to build something lasting. You've learned that honest conversations beats mind games every time. And this kind of clarity, it's rare and incredibly attractive to someone who's also looking for something real. Remember dating in your younger years? Dancing around important topics, afraid of scaring someone off? Now you can say, I'm looking for a relationship without feeling like you need to apologize. When something bothers you, you're more likely to bring it up rather than let it simmer. This kind of straightforward communication might scare off some potential dates. But guess what? It scares off the ones who weren't looking for anything serious anyway, or weren't ready for it. The ones who run when you mention wanting a relationship, they're actually doing you a favor by running early. And here's another advantage that often gets overlooked. At this stage in life, many of us have built a stable foundation. We've figured out who we are and we've created a life that supports us. This means we can focus on actually building a connection with someone instead of dealing with the kind of survival stress that's common in younger years. You know your deal breakers, your must-haves, your needs, and you've learned to talk about them openly, not hint at them or hope someone just gets it, but to have real conversations about what matters. Here's what it all comes down to. While younger gay men are still trying to figure out who they are and what they want, you already know. Yes, the dating pool might be smaller at our age, and yes, it can be frustrating and sometimes lonely. But when you find someone who's also looking for something real, all that life experience, that clarity about what you want, that ability to build something genuine, these become your secret weapons. Now, some might be thinking, great, I know what I want, I'm ready for something real, I have so much to offer, but what does that matter when it feels like nobody out there wants that? I hear you. And here's what's really happening. When you're swiping through endless profiles of guys looking for right now or fun only, it's easy to feel like you, being relationship ready, is actually working against you. But here's what's interesting. Beneath all the noise of hookup culture, there's a whole group of men looking for exactly what you're offering. They're just not as visible. They're not sharing shirtless selfies or spending their weekends bar hopping. So using Grindr or hanging out in bars won't get you closer to the like-minded people you're looking for. This is a whole different discussion, and I dive more into it in my private weekly newsletter. You can find a link to get it in the description. So forget what ageism in the gay community tells you. While everyone's chasing hookups and casual dates, you're equipped for something more valuable, building a relationship that actually lasts. Your stability, how you're able and willing to build real intimacy. These aren't just nice to haves, they're exactly what someone else is looking for right now. And your age? It's what gives you these real advantages. Drop a comment below if you found your age to be an unexpected advantage in dating. I'd love to hear your story. And subscribe to this channel for more insights on how to find and keep the love of your life at any age. See you next time.